Good day and welcome back to this new edition of Sir-Kenneth's Talk Show. Today we're going to be talking about superhero movies and how they kind of turn me off a little bit. So if you're a superhero movie fan, your feelings might be hurt by this video, but please don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to my channel for more content. Okay, now before I get into the topic of the day, I would just like to say this real quick, like superhero movies. I don't know what it's with age or I don't know, but when I was younger, like 8, 10, 11, 12 years old, I was really impressed. I really loved superhero movies. Like I was like the biggest fan whenever Superman came on, Batman. I loved all of those kind of movies. But as the years pass by, as I'm beginning to age and grow and become a full adult, well, these things they no longer impress me. Like the fake flying in the air and the fake lightning, and all that just doesn't really impress me anymore. I don't know why, but I think it's with age. Like with age, you tend to realize. Well, I tend to realize that those things aren't real and they don't happen in real life. I think that's the main thing that makes me not really like superhero movies that much. Okay, before I get into the details, well, no, let's get into the details. Okay, let's begin with Black Panther. Well, when Black Panther came out in 2018, if I'm not mistaken, 2018, it was like the movie of the year. Like it came out in theaters, and I really, really, really tried to watch it in theaters, but I wasn't able to. When I finally got the chance to go to the theaters, it had already left the theaters that year, and I was really disappointed because like it was the talk of the whole year. Like everybody was talking about Black Panther, Black Panther. Have you watched Black Panther? And even after I left theaters, I tried watching it a few times on TV, but I couldn't make it through the first 15 minutes without falling asleep. I'm sorry to say it, okay, but Black Panther had a lot of turnoffs for me. The first movie, I haven't even watched the second movie, Wakanda Forever. Like, I don't know if I'm ready for that yet, okay? So I recently tried watching Black Panther again recently, like the first movie. And I didn't realize that the cast was star-studded. Okay, I mean we have Angela Bassett, Chadwick Boseman, Leticia Wright, Sterling K. Brown, Forrest Whitaker, Daniel Kaluuya, Michael B. Jordan, Lupita Nyong'o, Danai Gurira. I mean the cast was really star-studded. I didn't realize that at first. Okay, I'm sorry. I might be living on that road, but I didn't realize it was such a star-studded cast. At least that was point. One positive thing of the movie I loved on, and all these actors I've just mentioned that people I really love and look up to. Like I said in one of my videos, I'm a script writer, so I'm trying to make a name for myself in the movie industry in my country. So these global icons, like I really look up to them. Okay, so Sterling K. Brown especially, I've seen him in films and series, and like he's like a top. He's an A-list actor. He's an A-list actor. Same with Forrest Whitaker. I mean, he has been in the game for long. Not to talk of Angela Evelyn Bassett. Oh my God, I love that woman. Like she's my top two. She's among my top two favorite actresses of all time. Number one is Viola Davis, okay, and my number two is Angela Evelyn Bassett. I just love everything about her. And finally, I think the academy is doing it right. It's finally giving her flowers as she's receiving an honorary Oscar this year. I mean, that lady has been snubbed for I don't know the past 30 years, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm really happy that she's finally having her moment. This the governors whatever awards this year organized by the Oscars. So she will have an Oscar. So congrats, Angela Bassett. Yes. So Black Panther, like I was saying, it's not a bad movie per se, but it's not all that. I mean, I didn't get what all the hype was about. I tried watching it several times when it just came out, but I couldn't make it through the first 15 minutes. And recently I tried watching it. I made it like through the first hour of the movie, then I fell asleep. I still haven't watched it till the end. But and that was because I was watching it at night. It was like around midnight. If it wasn't a day, I'm pretty sure I'll have watched it to the end. So Black Panther. One thing I didn't like, the main turn off for me in the movie was like the fake African accent. Oh my God, it was so annoying. I don't know why it's annoying. Maybe it's because I know all these actors and I know that's not how they speak in real life, and I know that and I know that they're faking it. I think that's the issue. Okay, the fact that I know that they're faking it, it made the whole movie look fake. That's number one thing. It made the whole movie look fake. I don't know. The acting wasn't bad. Like I said, they're all phenomenal actors, okay? But just the fact that they were faking the African accent, it was just a whole turn on for me. And they have this one, every Hollywood movie that has like some sort of African backstory in it, they always use this one accent. I don't know from what country that accent is. It's either South Africa or Kenya, I'm not pretty sure. It's the same accent they use in Coming to America, and now they're using it in Wakanda. Like, come on, all African people don't speak that way, okay? I mean, that's not how I speak, that's not how Cameroonians speak, that's not how Nigerians speak, that's not how Ghanaians speak. That's not how Kenyan. Well, maybe Kenyans speak a little bit like that. But anyway, it was just a whole turn on for me. Yes, and the fact that they portrayed Africa like Wakanda, this place in Africa, this imaginary country in Africa, to look like this, the whole town just looked like a market square. I might be wrong, but that's what it looked like to me. Okay, it looked like a market square, like you know how food market. Those of you who are in Bamenda, you know how food market looks like. Okay, dusty markets and vendors left and right. Like that's how the whole town looked like. I'm like, come on, that's not what Africa looks like. Okay, do we have towns too? We have tarred roads too. We have skyscrapers too. Well, not skyscrapers, but we have beautiful buildings too. Okay, so yes, Africa should not always be portrayed as like this. Yes, we're in the third world, but we have nice things. We have nice structures as well. But the fact that they decided to pay more attention, like to give more, like to focus more on like the rural side of Africa, like that was really like a turn off for me. Also, that was a turn off for me. And yeah, so the storyline was quite interesting because I felt that Michael B. Jordan, who's an actor I really love and respect, I don't know, I'm not sure, but he seemed to me like the bad guy in the story. But I'm not sure if he really was because I didn't watch it to the end, like I said. But he seemed to be like the bad guy in the story. But he was bad for a good reason because Chadwick's like the Black Panther's father killed his father. Like Sterling K was his father and Sterling K. Brown was killed at the beginning of the movie. So that's why he was so pissed at everyone in Wakanda because he felt like he was betrayed, like they killed his father. And so I don't know how that ended up at the end, but he was trying to take over Wakanda. And yes, like I said, I don't know how I would try to watch Black Panther again to the end, but it wasn't all that bad. But like I've already mentioned, my few the few turnoffs I had in the movie, like the fake accent, like the portrayal of Africa, and the fake superhero powers. I've really the fake superhero powers goes for all the superhero movies in general. But for Black Panther, like what I've listed, like those were the few turnovers I had in the movie. The next movie we can go to is Avengers. Well, let's just talk about the whole Avengers franchise. Okay, I have never watched any of those. I have tried like a million times to watch at least one of the movies. I tried watching Avengers Endgame. Like, I couldn't make it through the first 10 minutes. Okay, at least I made it through the first 15 minutes of Black Panther. I couldn't make it through the first 10 minutes of Avengers Endgame. Well, I have a little cousin. He told me, well, that's because you haven't watched all the other Avenger movies because you need to watch all of them before understanding Endgame. I was like, okay, I am not ready for that. Okay, and yes, another turn off with all these superhero movies is the length. Like, there is no superhero movie that is below 2 hours, and when a movie is already an hour 45 minutes, like that's like tops for me. Okay, I cannot sit down and watch a 2 hour movie unless I'm really, really glued. Unless it's a really interesting story. Okay, because I'm not that patient. Okay, to watch a movie for 2 hours, and 2 hours, like I said, is the minimum. Some of them go as far as 2 hours 30, and even 3 hours. 3 hours. The Batman with this guy, this Harry Potter guy, this Twilight guy. What's his name? Twilight guy. Robert Pattinson. Yes, Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. Yes, that movie is like 3 hours long. Like, I'm not ready to watch that kind of movie. Okay, 3 hours long. And I heard from the reviews, I heard it wasn't even all that. Okay, and imagine me what 3 hours. Come on. Okay, I'm not ready for that. Okay, the only 3 hour movie I've watched was Titanic. Okay, and Titanic because I mean it's a classic. Yeah, so who wouldn't? So like I said, the length of a movie it matters a lot for me. Like if a movie crosses 2 hours, I'm really not I can't like sit down and watch it and be like really comfortable with it. No. So like I was saying with the Avengers, like I wasn't able to make it through the first 5 minutes. Okay, it's full of superheroes. It's a movie that's full of superheroes. If I'm not mistaken, there's Iron Man, there is Superman, there is Batman, and I think Endgame. I think the last Avengers movie, Endgame, that came out in 2019. I think Black Panther was in that movie too. Chadwick was in that movie too. Well, that movie came out like a year before he passed, a year or two before he passed. Yeah, so R.I.P. Um, um, so that's it. I don't even know what the movie is about. Okay, so I cannot really say much about it. But the fact that he has all these superhero components, like the fake flying, the fake saving, and all of that fakeness. I mean, it just doesn't feel real to me. And if something isn't real, I'm not impressed by it. Like I said, I was impressed by those kind of things way back before when I was like a child. But now I know this is not real. It can't be real. It can never happen in real life. So it cannot impress me. Sorry, it cannot impress me. Okay, it can't. The next movie I'd like to talk about is Black Adam, and I hate to not like this movie because it has one of my favorite actors of all time, uh, Dwayne the Rock Johnson. I was really disappointed. Like I tried watching it like 3 times because when I watched that movie, the first thing is when I watched that movie, I couldn't believe it came out in 2022. Because the my highest turn off about the movie is the CGI. It looks really fake. It looks like the movie came out like in 1990, and I'm not exaggerating because the CGI looks really fake. The flying, the lightning, it all looks fake. The broke, the collapsing buildings, all of that looks really fake. I can really tell it's fake. It looks so fake. I don't know. Like that movie, and I heard it didn't perform really well at the box office. Well, I'm not surprised. And like I said, I really hate to like trash this movie because Dwayne the Rock is one of my favorite actors of all time. He's like top three, and I think he thrives mostly in comedy movies. Well, comic action movies. Like Central Intelligence with Kevin Hart and Jumanji. The two Jumanji movies he did with Kevin Hart too as well. And he has other great movies like Hobbs and Shaw, and the list goes on and on. I think he thrives better in that lane. Comedy action movies. I think he thrives better in that lane. I think superhero movies. Oh, I don't think Dwayne is cut out to play a superhero. It's not even about him. I like the whole story was it was a turn off. It was a turn off. Like it made no sense to me. I had no idea what it was talking about, and I really tried to pay attention to everything that was happening, but I still couldn't get it. Okay, everything was uh possess one some demonic crown everyone was after. I didn't get the point of the storyline and everything. And my favorite actress of all time is in the movie as well. That's why I really feel bad trashing this movie. Viola Davis, she's in the movie. I really feel bad talking trash about this movie, but it's not it. It's not it. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's not it. I know, and there's a lot of other movies like Superman. Henry Cavill, the Henry Cavill movie that came out like in 2013. Man of Steel. I loved I loved that movie, that particular Superman movie when I watched it back then when it came out. But right now I'm like, what was I really enjoying in this movie? I can't watch that movie right now, presently. No, no. It came out like 2013. That's like 10 years ago, and back then I was like 10 years younger. So I don't know. So today I wouldn't enjoy that movie the way I did 10 years ago. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. And I would like to talk. But what the funny thing is, there is a superhero movie that came out recently that I really enjoyed. It's Shazam. The two Shazam movies, the Shazam Fury of the Gods came out this year, 2023. I think the first one came out in 2020 or 2019 or 2017. I can't remember, but it was quite a while ago. I really enjoyed both movies. Okay, and the fun fact is, the cast isn't really star-studded. The only person I knew in the cast was Megan Good. I didn't know any other person, like any other person from the cast, but somehow it's funny. I think that's what makes me like it because it's funny. There are a lot of like there's a lot of funny moments in the movie. I think that's what really made me enjoy that movie. And the CGI too wasn't all that bad. I think it's fair enough to say the CGI in Shazam is good. It's good CGI. But Fear of the Gods, no, this year I was looking quite fake. But I still enjoyed the movie because, like I said, it's really funny. It's really funny, and the actors did their thing. They did a great job. Yeah. So yes, and the Flash that just came out. Okay, I've been getting a lot of negative reviews from the Flash, the movie. Ah, I don't think I watch it. Okay, because I used to watch the TV show The Flash, but that was like 4, 5 years ago, 6 years. Well, that was my first year in university. That was 2016, 2016, 2017. That's when I first watched. I started watching the TV show The Flash, but I didn't make it past the fourth season because at a certain point, the story just didn't make any sense to me anymore. It it was quite fake, and it was so unrealistic at that point. I was like, no, what am I watching? Like this thing, it doesn't make any sense. There's no point watching it again. So I think that's it. Okay, I think that's the whole point about superhero movies. Like they're just so unrealistic, and I know they can happen in real life. Okay, so forgive me if I'm not a big fan of all these fake flying people, like imaginary flying people who save, say who save the world. But in real life, nobody saves the world. In real life, it's God who saves the world, and policemen who save the world, and doctors who save the world, not imaginary flying men. Okay, so that's it about superhero movies. I'm not a fan. Yes, so that's it about superhero movies. Like they're not really doing it for me like that. They used to. Even when I was young, like I watched Power Rangers. Like I can't remember. I know there's so many Power Ranger movies out, but when I was young, I watched Power Rangers. I don't think I'll be impressed to watch Power Rangers now because like I said, I can't emphasize it enough. All these things that they do in superhero movies, they don't happen in real life. They do not. So I don't get the obsession behind Like I don't. Okay, if you have an answer to my worries, please leave in the comment section. Okay, because I don't even think more this about superhero movies. Okay, they're just turn offs for me in general. Turn offs. Okay, so that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the content and our talk. If you don't agree with me, it's okay. We can both agree to disagree respectfully. Okay. So I'll like your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned for more contents. Bye. Love you.